Happy New Year and welcome to Superchat. This is the first episode of 2025. Whether you're working on your first 1,000, 2,000, or even 10,000 subscribers and beyond, you've come to the right place. We're going to introduce you to some of the most influential content creators that can help to get your channel moving beyond your first 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. The very first channel that we're looking at today is none at all. Let me spin the wheel. We'll get a channel up on the screen. I thought I was ready, and at the last second, not even close. And I promise you, I make as many mistakes as anybody else, but hopefully we learn from them and strive to be better, especially when we're doing a New Year's episode here, thinking about New Year's goals and resolutions and everything else. And somebody asked the other day in a chat, yesterday I think it was, what are your New Year's goals? And I said my resolution for 2025 is to come up with a resolution for 2026. So I've got plenty of time for that. Hopefully everybody here has more productive New Year's resolutions and goals. We've got a brand new channel in the chat, and forgive me while I try to pronounce this properly for you. Zenabaya Halal Beauty is in the house, and then just please correct me if I'm mispronouncing that. We always want to promote everybody's channel the way they want it promoted, and we've got quite a few channels in the chat already here. Butler Family Farms up on the screen. We'll talk about their content in a second. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. I got quite a few more names on the wheel as well. Of course, Scratch and PPA, Michael's Adventures, and Canadian Family Life are all at the top of the wheel. They are beloved and dedicated moderators here. And then Crafty Witch 232 has also been added. They happen to be a member. We always put members on the wheel along with moderators as soon as we see them in the chat. Over the course of the stream today, the next 3 hours or so, I will add names to the wheel from our chat list based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation. And like I said, we expect to be here for 3 hours. Plenty of time to put plenty of channels on the screen and talk about them. And then I see Marketplace Boutique, Itchin' to Scratch UK is in the house. John H. Shelton, the Vlogging Life from the UK is here. Backlash Fisherman is never too far behind his wife, Coastal Water. Movie Tune Studios in the house. Consume the Goodness. I think Kendra's going to be on with Jason tonight, if I'm not mistaken. We'll likely see Jason's channel at some point today. Just Jason Keto and more. Martha Makes Art, good to see you in the house. I think Martha Makes Art came in just after we finished the last stream. But that's a long-time generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. Good to see you here. Thanks for coming in. Fairbrick Studio was almost first in the door today, and then Jesse Miller Unboxings and More is another long-time friend. She's been with us about 4.5 years. Big Boy Snacks, Johnny TV, I see out supporting others all the time. Dutchfly61 is from the Netherlands, another incredibly generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. So is Life with Tanisha RN. And BH Road Stories is back in the house as well. Now, hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. As long as everyone's still active, we should get around to saying hello to everyone. Butler Family Farm is known lovingly here in the Superchat family as everybody's BFF. And this is 116 acres of farmland. Jerry and Susan together share the video and camera work here to bring us all that it takes to look after 116 acres. They bring us homesteading content in their home, in the kitchen. Jerry's in the shop doing a lot of woodworking, and then they're out on the farm and in the fields and with the cattle, goats, donkeys, horses, llamas, chickens, cats, dogs, and bees when the temperature is appropriate. John Paul, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Butler Family Farm posts frequently, and they are growing rapidly, taking advantage of the YouTube promotion system. Jerry talks about that often. These creators, like I said, will bring us a mix of indoor and outdoor content. Lately, I've been incredibly impressed with the woodworking that Jerry does in the shop. This is an incredibly entertaining video in my own opinion. This charcuterie board video. If anybody hasn't already seen that, it's one thing to do some woodworking. I don't know how many people in the chat have ever been involved in woodworking at all. I had to do a little bit of it in school, grade 6, 7, and 8, I believe it was. And then, but to see what Jerry's doing here, this is masterful woodworking here. So as well, like I said, sometimes in the kitchen, sometimes out on the road. They also head out to lots of meetups as well. Sometimes 80 channels worth of creators and supporters. And they introduce us to a lot of friends on their channel. They've got some shorts over here that have done well, 10,000, 12,000, one over 50,000, which is great to see. And then live streams on the channel as well. And they are live every Monday at 6:45 Eastern in the evenings. And they often feature other creators. I've joined them a couple of times. They do StreamYard panels, or it's just Jerry and Susan giving us some updates about the channel and letting us know what they're up to. They often head out to live stream some of the larger meetups that we're talking about with 80 channels worth of creators and supporters. You will meet a lot of new friends on their channel, and you'll see a lot of familiar faces from here in the Tuber Chat family as well. So hopefully everybody will connect with Butler Family Farm. We would love to push them towards that 41,000 they're going to be thinking about. And then Bella's Whisper Farmstead and the Bud Files have come in. I'm going to get them both onto the wheel. And Crafty Witch 232 is coming up. I caught them for a live stream, I think, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. And forgive me for anything I missed in the chat as well. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you. And if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. Alamatu Sadia is in the house. That's a longtime friend as well, with a slight name change there. It's good to have you here. Galacticness managed to get in here. Pardon me, Galacticness is in the house. And then again, hopefully I'm not missing anyone. Crafty Witch 232 is a really interesting channel to somebody like myself. Not only are they bring us crafting and creativity, but this channel has a razor sharp niche that's kind of a mashup between two ideas. They're bringing us a lot of cross-stitch crochet, but then as well, they're bringing us 3D printing. And it's a really cool idea to have a channel that focuses on two either hobbies or interests at the same time. They'll do a little bit more with jewelry making, perler beater, and sewing ninja. They claim to be on their about page, so I'll leave it to you to go and catch them and see what they're talking about. But look at the views on some of these shorts videos already, getting into 1,000, 10,000, 13,000 on one of these, which is really, really cool. I've never seen anything like this before. And then live streams on the channel. Yeah, so I just got them yesterday, and they were crocheting it up here. And then you can see a lot of the elaborate creations they've got on the channel. So I'm looking forward to more. I'm sure you will be too. After you connect with them, they're at 402 subscribers right now. We'd love to push them towards the 500 we know they're going to be thinking about. That's an exciting and important milestone in everybody's YouTube journey. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Mona Did What is also in the house. Good to see you here. She's doing fantastic on her channel. She's been a friend for a few years now. And then Scratch and PPA has been with us from just about the beginning. He's known as a shining jewel in the Tuber Chat family. One of the most supportive creators that I've met in my 7 years on YouTube. Just in case you're wondering, my camera, I'm expecting to fix it any day now. I should have had it done by today. I was actually given for Christmas as a gift some lights to try to help out with this, and it's because one of my family members peeked in on a Tuber Chat episode and saw that the camera was so hideously awful, but I'll get that fixed up. But the green screen even though I don't have it set up properly because of where the camera is right this second. Still, to this day, lives on hundreds of times. We've used this green screen. I did a review of that on my personal channel. When I get the lighting fixed next time, you'll get an idea of how great that really is. Scratch and PPA is up on the screen right now, and this is a creator that posts with perfect consistency, has now for about 4.5 years. He's working on 2,300 subscribers. Of course, he's monetized, lots of ways to support him, including super chats and memberships when we get there. And what Scratch and PPA does that's unique on his channel is he pits 2 lottery scratch tickets against each other every week and gives us the opportunity to vote on the content of next week's video if we follow him on Instagram, Twitter, and or Facebook, which of course I do. It sets his series apart, makes it unique and a lot of fun to be a part of. Day One Walks, I've got you on the wheel, and Blessed to Crochet also. They happen to be members. We always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. When we look at Scratch and PPA's channel, we know that he has presentation at the forefront of his mind. His bright, beautiful avatar is matched by content. In the thumbnails on his videos, they give us a hint about the giveaways that happen in his video series also. His banner's updated every single week, if you can believe that, and he has had his video editing skills complimented ever since his very first production 4.5 years ago. When we look at Scratch and PPA's channel, you will see that he premieres every single Tuesday at 12:15 Eastern without fail for 4 years now. We're entering number 5. Year 5 of the Scratch Challenge series of videos. And if you can catch us for one of these premieres, you're going to find one of the fastest rolling chats in the Tuber Chat family. Faster than this, faster than most others. He rivals those of Hilda DC, the Stock Explorer, Garden State Gardener, and a few select others. It is very fast-paced, very high energy, and a lot of fun to be a part of. When we look at his channel, you'll see that I actually completely missed this past Tuesday's premiere. And literally, I do have a good excuse. It's the last day of moving day. I think this was on the 30th or 31st, right? 31st it was. And Scratch and PPA, I'm going to grab the latest video, put that into a special playlist that I use. It's called my Catch-Up playlist, and it's just a fun name for a silly playlist that I use to keep or get caught up with creators. Playlists can be a great tool for that. We put a lot of focus on that here on this channel. And then I'll be looking forward to his next premiere. By the time we're on again, he'll likely have his next premiere set up and ready to go. He always sets them up a few days in advance. One of the other things you're going to notice is on every playlist here that he's got featured on his front page, he marks the length of the playlist so that when he's trading for watch hours with other creators, he's long past monetization now, but he still helps other people. When he is doing those kinds of things, other people can get an idea of the different lengths of the playlist to get an idea of exactly how much time they're going to run and things like that. Edna's World, good to see you in the house. I caught them yesterday as well. Tucker and I is in the house. Good to have you back. And when we look at Scratch and PPA's channel, you'll notice also I skipped over some shorts here. Last year, he took a trip to Italy and expanded the content on his channel to bring us a lot of vlogging-style shorts videos to show us around all the different areas he visited while he was in Italy, along with some Italian lottery tickets as well. Then, live streams have started. He brought us his very first live stream from Italy during that trip, which is really, really cool, and I know a lot of people were excited, first of all, to be there and to know that he's got new content on the channel, including that live stream and a few shorts videos already. So hopefully everybody will connect with Scratch and PPA. We'd love to push him towards the 2,300 subscribers we know he's thinking about. Awkward Quilter GA is also in the house. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. And then the Bud Files is up on the screen right now. Sue behind this channel actually does an incredible job of keeping track of their top supporters, and they do shout-out videos for every 100 milestone. Now, the Bud Files is now over 2,500 and starting to grow really rapidly. They've got over 1,000 videos on the channel. That includes shorts and live streams. They post several times a week, and there's a lot of family togetherness on this channel. They are modern-day archaeologists. The idea is to uncover history and digitally preserve it in video. The last couple of years have seen them really expand the content on their channel as well. So they take us out for a lot of outdoor adventures, sometimes to touristy areas or events, but most often to abandoned locations, graveyards, cemeteries, and things like that. They've got a Way Back Wednesday series with a lot of history. Shorts on this channel have gotten into 3,000, 5,000, even 15,000 views on one of these. And then live streams on the channel as well. The Bud Files are working on, like I said, 2,600 subscribers. They're live frequently also, usually at least once a week, if not twice. Sometimes they take us out on different events or for adventures, and then a lot of times they're home, and I've caught them many times. They could be singing, dancing, or playing games. And like I said, a lot of family togetherness on this channel. The Bud Files, along with Scratch and PPA, and probably every channel that we've talked about so far today, seem to be everywhere all the time, supporting other creators. I'm always happy to see that when I'm trying to bounce around in between other people's premieres and live streams, myself doing the same thing. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. So Fever Dream Animation is also in the house. Good to have you here. And then Canadian Family Life is up on the screen. This is Tiffany, and her family comes to us from New Brunswick. They've got a Happy New Year banner there and an elaborate avatar, actually. Presentation is on the forefront of this creator's mind as well. One of the things that they did just a few months ago, a theme song was made for this channel, along with dozens of our friends, many channels we don't know yet, from a dear friend of ours named Jake Husden. And Canadian Family Life, along with another couple of channels we've seen today, like Butler Family Farm and Bella's Whisper Farmstead, they have all cut excellent trailers for their channel over top of those theme songs. So here's one from Canadian Family Life. This channel is known to bring us cooking videos, grocery hauls, Happy Mail videos, shout-outs for other creators, a lot of family togetherness. The family's hopping in and out on videos and live streams on this channel. And Tiffany just did an incredible Vlogmas series as well with a lot of really different types of content. I caught a couple of these, including some ornament decorating, and I see they've got a brand new 2025 Happy New Year video. So I'm going to put that into that catch-up playlist that I keep talking about. And that, again, is just a playlist that I use to keep caught up with creators. But this creator also is bringing us shorts from New Brunswick and some of that Canadian cold weather there, getting into 2,500, 2,800, even 5,500 views. And then live streams on the channel as well. And Tiffany is usually live once a month or so. We'll probably be expecting another one in the coming weeks, but it's great that they just did one last week. Canadian Family Life as well is working on 12,000 subscribers right now. It's actually one of the fastest growing channels we had originally seen in the Tuber Chat family. Tiffany got to 3,000 subscribers in barely over a year, which is quite an accomplishment, and continues to grow. Now, I think that the biggest reason for that rapid growth is because Canadian Family Life is out supporting others so much. Another creator who seems to be everywhere all the time. Life with Tanisha RN, thank you again for that membership. They've had that before. I really do appreciate you renewing that. Native Wildman is also a member. I've got them both on the wheel now. We always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. I'm going to spin. We'll see who's coming up next. What we're going to do right now is take a break just for 3.5 minutes, and right before that I'm going to play a clip from a brand new video podcast series listed in a playlist here on the Tuber Chat channel. These are videos, but in an interview style, where I ask the featured creators for their opinion, knowing that they know exactly what we need to hear, without adding a lot of my own opinion as well, because we get to hear from me every day. Not every creator had the same thing to say about every subject, but these creators have all been longtime friends of us here in the Tuber Chat family, and they've all long passed their 10,000 subscribers. So I noticed that you also mentioned subscribers for a quick second there when you're talking about especially the effects you put on the screen or the end of your video. Don't forget to subscribe, things like this. What else can you tell us, especially for anybody just starting their YouTube journey, about how to get more subscribers for their channel?
Still back to just asking. Like, you would be surprised how many people don't say subscribe to my channel.
Yeah.
Just a simple hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. I don't do a whole lot of promoting, but promoting your channel works very well. I think honestly, if people can feel like they have a connection to you, if you're talking, if you're giving great information, if they sort of feel that vibe, they're going to naturally be like, oh, I like this person. But sometimes people will watch and watch and watch and just never subscribe. And sometimes it's just because they just don't think about it. It's like, oh, I didn't even realize I wasn't subscribed to you. So that one little ask is sometimes all the people need to just, subscribe to the channel. I think also realizing that not everybody is going to subscribe. Realizing that they might watch your video, but for whatever reason, they just don't want to subscribe to it. Or they just come there for that one reason, that to see that video, and now they're going to go. I think having people promote you is a good thing. And that's also something I think should naturally happen.
Okay.
I know a lot of us, when we start out, we think we have the best ideas, the best personality, and we're going to blow up overnight. And it just doesn't happen like that in the real world. It's going to take time, and you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with, you might never hit 10,000 subscribers, and that's okay. Be there for the 400 that are coming back,
Yes.
Be there for the ones that are coming back and show them that you appreciate them being there, because eventually those are the ones that will mention your name to somebody else.
Yes.
Or, those, if they don't, but they're still coming back. So we have to be okay. I think that's what a lot of new vloggers need to learn. You have to be okay that you might not blow up. You might not be as fabulous as you think you are. Somebody is still going to be like, no, I don't like her. And that's okay. That's okay.
All right, we're just about back. I didn't realize I was muted there. Thank you, Canadian Family Life. I promise you, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I make as many mistakes as anybody. I tried to improve and this and that, but I would just wanted everybody to know that Edna's World, who we saw on that interview clip that I played, is in the chat right now, or was a moment ago. I hope everybody will connect with her and the rest of the creators who join me for those interviews. There's 4 of them now. They all have some great insight and know exactly what we need to hear, having long passed their 10,000 subscribers. Now, Black Guns of Gardens is in the house. I'm going to get them onto the wheel. We always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. Native Wildman dropped a super chat. They'll be up next. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. We'll get back to spinning the wheel in another few moments, and then I will add some names to our wheel from our chat list based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation over the course of the stream. I'll do that in a little while. It's me, Alec, is in the house. I'll get them onto the wheel right now. I'll shuffle up the wheel in a little while. When we look at Rushing Wind Mountain, you see this creator named as Ruby in the chat often. They're here with us for just about every single stream. I think it is every stream, as a matter of fact. They've been friends of ours for about 4 years now. And they're mixing up quite a bit of different content on the channel lately. Now, the 99% of what you're going to find over here is from the Pacific Northwest, and it deals with a lot of nature and a lot of wildlife. Lately, they've been mixing up a little bit more of an ASMR type of content where they're bringing us pleasing visuals, pleasing audio to go along with it, like this fireplace video here. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list, and again, that'll give me a chance to catch up with the latest video that they've got. They do a lot of experimenting both in vertical and horizontal format. Wildlife is featured in a lot of the shorts videos here, and you'll find some humorous moments if you dig through these. They've gotten into 11,000, 12,000, and even 16,000 on some of these, which is great, and then live streams on the channel as well. They're live frequently, usually at least a couple of times a week, and again, pleasing audio, pleasing visuals, a mix of horizontal and vertical formats. YouTube's done them a couple of favors and pushed them out a little bit. They're working on 13,000 right now, and they're monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Pardon me, so I hope everybody will connect with Rushing Wind Mountain. And then we're going to look at Native Wildman in a moment. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. So Rushing Wind Mountain is pardon me. Native Wildman is coming up right now. I hit the enter button there. I am Betty J. Gathers is in the house. Let me get them onto the wheel as well. We always put members and moderators onto the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. I am Betty J. Gathers is both. And when we look at Native Wildman, we see that this creator is now working on 1,100 subscribers, which is great to see. They have put out another few videos over the last couple weeks here. I'm just going to grab the latest one for Tea Time Tuesday. I'm going to put that into my catch-up list. That'll give me a chance to catch up with them. There's a lot of information on their About section to let you know the motivation behind the channel, what we can expect about fishing, fly tying, knives, artisan tea blends. You can let me know if that's artisan or artisan. Still to this day, I don't have a clue how to pronounce that properly. And then some other random things we'll find on the channel, including in some shorts videos that have gotten now into 5,800, won over 10,000 views, which is great to see, and then live streams on the channel as well. So up to a couple months ago, they were live occasionally, usually once or twice a month. Hopefully we'll catch them for another one. We've got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other as possible as well. Thank you again, Native Wildman, for that super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. Absolutely unnecessary, of course, but always appreciated. And they took over our Stream Boss position. That's the video game life meter under my camera here, where every super chat, membership, and highlighted milestone message knocks a little bit of life off of the Stream Boss. The last person to knock it out and take over gets some extra exposure for a little while, and Native Wildman's held that position before. So we're going to look at Belle's Whisper Farmstead in a second. I see a couple more channels here. Maria's Fabulous Vibes might be brand new in the chat. Forgive me if I'm wrong about that. And Brian Sports and Entertainment, I think, was with us last week as well. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. Tampa's Creek Homestead and More from Indiana is in the house. And Belle's Whisper Farmstead is going to bring us homesteading on a budget. They've changed up their banner recently to let us know we're going to receive homesteading tips, recipes, how-to videos, and do-it-yourself videos on this channel. Belle's Whisper Farmstead, Kristen, has always been known for doing a very thorough job of not just planning, but also filming and editing these videos. Sometimes Mike is helping out, even doing a video on his own. And I've enjoyed watching this channel because of the thorough job that they do. Lately, they've been into a lot of recipes, and these are low cost with only a few ingredients. What I noticed about the taste test that they did at the end of these recipe videos is the fact that they both agreed that the recipes came out even better than they expected before they made them. So that's really cool. Let's look at shorts on this channel. They've gotten into 2,200, 2,700, 3,400 views and beyond, and then live streams on the channel as well. Sometimes Kristen will take us down by the water. Sometimes it's a fireside chat. We'll be looking forward to more. It's been a few months, but like I keep saying, we got notification bells on for every single channel in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other. YouTube Police is in the house. That's Belt Loop 29 with second channel there. Always good to see you in the house. He's somebody else who wants to help others grow, so you'll meet more friends when you're on his channel. Same with all of our moderators, like Just Jason Keto and More, who's in the chat right now. I am Betty J. Gathers, who's coming up on the screen. And every moderator on this channel is a longtime dear friend of mine. They're all dear friends of each other. They all have different channels, and they all do different things. But one of the things they all have in common is an overwhelming sense of generosity, and for that reason, when you visit any of their channels for premieres or live streams, you'll be welcome to meet more friends and family members for your channel the same way we do here in Superchat. I'm going to get handicapped travelers onto the wheel right now. We always put members on the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat, and then we'll talk about I am Betty J. Gathers. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Shanster Travels is also a member. I'm going to put them on the wheel right away. And when we look at I Am Betty J. Gathers, we see a creator that brings us her best life over 60. That's really what she is focusing on in all of her content, but I believe everything kind of relates to everybody. She's always smiling, always laughing, always inspiring, always motivating, cares deeply about the YouTube journey and those of us in the Tuber Chat family, along with her own community. I Am Betty J. Gathers will introduce us to plenty of friends while we're over there, especially in live streams. But this creator recently did a lot of vlogging. We expect some new content coming up either later in the month or towards February. This creator's got a lot of shorts on the channel as well. It's interesting to see a creator doing talking head shorts videos that have gotten many of them over 10,000 views. She's got a couple others here at 12,000 and 15,000. And she has done, for the year of 2024, one shorts video every single day, I believe. Well over 365 shorts on this channel. And then live streams, like I talked about. Lately, she's been doing a lot of interviews. I joined her a few weeks ago. We talked about YouTube. We talked about our friendship. We talked about moderators. We both told stories about how we think about those things. Hopefully everybody will check that out. I Am Betty J. Gathers, like I said, will introduce you to a lot of new friends on her channel, and hopefully everybody will catch her. We've always got notification bells on for every single channel. She's monetized, lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. I'm hoping I haven't missed anybody in the chat. Rosalind Brinson was added to the wheel. And thank you so much, YouTube Police. I really do appreciate that, of course. And D's Garden Adventures, a.k.a. Diana. Good to see you in the house. I feel like I missed another channel coming in. I don't mean to miss saying hello to anyone. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Superchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. So, Handicap Traveler, Shanster Travels, Rosalind Brinson, and Trish the Natural have all been added to the wheel. I'm going to take Black Guns and Gardens off there now. We're going to put them on the screen and see what they've got going on. They've got a bit of a mashup on this channel, although the things that they focus on fall in line with each other. So when we look at their description, they're going to talk about the idea of this channel being dedicated to self-sufficiency through a blend of gardening, preparedness, and self-defense strategies. I see they've mixed that up a little bit as well. So they want to help us with these things. And then when we look at Black Guns and Gardens, first of all, they've been friends of ours for years, obviously generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. But then when we look at their subscribers, they're well over 3,000 now, at over 3,400. And you know, I say of channels of this size that there must be much to be learned from them, as well as entertained and inspired by, because of what they must have already been through in their YouTube journey to get to a level of, let's say, 3,000 and beyond. It seems to be a pretty telling marker. Every time we find a channel that has reached that 3,000, I fully expect that they will have 10 if they want to. The only reason 100,000 and 1 million comes into question is because it can take years, and we don't know what the world or YouTube is going to look like 3 years from now, right? We don't, 3 years ago, we saw the world in a very different state. Nisa Faraway, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Thank you for the kind words, Brian. Sports and Entertainment as well. For anybody that's brand new, my suggestion is always to make the first move. Reach out to other creators slowly, one at a time, following all our instructions that are in our video descriptions, of course. Once you get a conversation started with somebody, then you can connect with them, and you'll see your friends growing solidly and strongly. Ship to Shore Cruise News, good to see you in the house. Nisa Faraway, I think I said hello. I am Betty J. Gathers, just dropped a super chat so that we will look at Trish the Natural, another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. So we'll get her channel ready to go. Black Guns and Gardens we're still talking about on the screen here, and like I said, they've been friends of ours for years now. I see them out supporting other creators as well. I'm behind with their last couple videos. I'm just going to grab the latest one and put that into my catch-up list, and that will be an interesting video. I'm interested to know about that, as a matter of fact. In Canada, it's a very different thing. I don't know what's involved in getting a concealed carry permit or anything like that, or under what circumstances those can be acquired. But it's just interesting to me more than anything else. Black Guns and Gardens has got some shorts over here. Lots of product reviews have done well for them. Some of these have now gotten into 4,000, 6,000, one over 8,000. I think that one's still getting views, actually. So hopefully everybody will connect with Black Guns and Gardens. Like I said, I've seen them many times out supporting other creators as well. And we'd love to push them towards the 3,500 subscribers we know that they are thinking about. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days, and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay, because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. So Izzy Ska is also in the house. I've got them on the wheel. Tampa's Creek Homestead and More just became a silver member, so I really do appreciate that extra generous support. And then we know that members get added to the wheel as soon as we see them in the chat. But as a silver member, like Trish the Natural, actually, we're going to see Tampa's Creek Homestead and More, starting with the next stream, every single day, whether they're here or not, in the slides that run at the beginning, middle, and end of every live stream. So update those slides today, and that'll be ready to go by the time we're back on Sunday. Tristan Natural's up on the screen right now. I am Betty J. Gathers, and her are dear friends. You'll see them actually in a lot of live streams together. When we roll over some of these, they're laughing and dancing away and having a good time. Tristan Natural has been an incredible supporter here in Superchat as well, and like I said, a silver member. They talk about natural hair care, health, beauty, lifestyle, and they've had a professional look to their channel ever since the very beginning. They've been friends of ours for at least a couple of years, if not 3 years or longer by now as well. When we look through every video, we see each one gets a different look, but they're all professional thumbnails here, or professional looks to their thumbnails with bright, bold headshots that will make them recognizable. What I really love is the idea that you see when I roll over these videos. It's an exact representation on the thumbnail of what you're going to receive from this creator when you get into the content, if that makes any sense. Obviously a dynamic creator. You can see that when I roll over these videos as well. And then they talk about more lifestyle and beauty along with natural hair care. Shorts on this channel feature a lot of variety with some celebrity tributes that have done really well. 16,000, 27,000, 43,000 on a few of these. And then live streams up to a few months ago were fairly frequent. Sometimes it's Tristan Natural. Sometimes she's got a guest on the channel like I am Betty J. Gathers. And I know I keep saying it, but we've got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for everybody. And hopefully we'll catch her the next time she's going to go live. So let me spin the wheel. We'll get another channel ready to go. Sir Dank for Jesus is in the house. That's a second channel from Handicapped Traveler. Pardon me, Handicapped Travelers. And then Just Jason Keto and More is coming up right now. What we're going to do, though, is we're going to take a break for 3.5 minutes again. I'm going to play another clip from that interview series. These are videos now on the Tuber Chat channel as a podcast and listed in a playlist. Every one of the creators has different things to say, but they all know exactly what we need to hear. They've been longtime friends of ours for at least a few years. Legal-minded friends, Karen Cole, good to see you in the house. When we get back, we're going to look at Just Jason Keto and more. Just keep in mind, when I play these clips from our interview series, all of these creators have long passed their 10,000 subscribers. One of the things that comes along with monetization on YouTube that used to require 30,000 subscribers is memberships, and that's open to everybody that gets monetized after 500 subscribers now, or just about everybody. So one of the things that creators will ask is how can they increase the number of memberships over time on their channel? What advice would you give to somebody to increase the number of members and watch that grow if that's something that's on their mind?
Yo, you better get your pencil out for this one. I take this part very seriously in my membership. Our membership is $1.99. It's low. Okay. And I did that intentionally. I don't have any other tiers. I have one tier. It's $1.99. It's the fun zone, basically. We have, I don't know, 24 emojis available, and everybody gets a new banner or a new badge. And it's creative and it's evolving all the time. I change those out consistently. Sometimes during the holidays is a good example. I changed out almost every single one of those emojis for members. I must have picked up, and I think we're right around 600 members. I think we probably picked up an extra 100 because once Halloween came, everything changed throughout the entire holiday season. We're about to hit Easter, and I'm doing it again. So showing your members that you're changing, people love new things. They love it when it's new. And that's a simple thing that you can do. It's all free, whether you use Pexels or you use an AI generator, Midjourney. You can create all that so fast and so easy. It probably takes me to do, I see 24 up there. So I think it takes me maybe 2 hours to do every single one of those.
Right. Yeah.
And now you have a fresh palette all the way around.
That's a wonderful idea. So much so I'm holding myself back from laughing because I expect to take a page out of your book and probably do that on at least the Tuber Chat channel. So thank you for that.
In encouraging everybody to join your membership program, or not so much encouraging, reminding them that you have a membership program. And as soon as you do that, everybody in your channel that's a member will start dropping those special emojis. Now, I tweak it a little bit too because I have the floating emotes. When we are in a non-emergency or eruptive time where we can take a breath and it's a little bit more relaxed, I have some pages, my live streams. When you do the emojis, they float all over the screen for fun. Mm-hmm. And then you see at a large customized emoji that you can only get by being a member, $1.99 is not too far off. People love it.
Wow, that's gold. Thank you for this. All right, we're just about back. We're going to look at Just Chasing Keto and more, but I just wanted to show you something for a second. Famous from Rooted in Essential Oils is just asking about where can we make emojis like what Two Pineapples was talking about in the clip that I just played. Now, somebody like myself, I'm a Photoshop guy, so I can fire my way through Photoshop and do those pretty quickly and easily. But I understand not everybody does graphic design for 8 hours a day, and we have to learn. It's a bit of a learning curve to do those kind of things. Canva makes a lot of the graphics that we need very easy, whether it's emojis or icons or thumbnails or banners or other social media graphics and things like that. So I just wanted to show this to everybody, and I will copy the URL into the chat for anybody that needs to see it. There's other places as well, so I'm just going to show you something. Graphic River is something I've been using for years. It's from a company called Envato, and they have a couple of different ways of doing things. They give you stock photos, stock images, editable templates, and they get into everything from web design to code to graphics and 3D modeling and everything else. They have a subscription service where you can pay, I think it's $35 American a month or something, for an unlimited access to a pool of different resources, or you can buy things one by one. So if I wanted like Happy New Year icon, I can just type that in here, and I use this kind of thing all the time. And you see all the different types of graphics and things, lots of Christmas graphics here and things, and then you could like edit those, change the colors of this and that with either Canva or Photoshop or any other thing. But that's just an example. I just wanted to show everybody. I have done a couple of really clunky tutorials on my personal channel for that kind of thing. We keep referencing Canadian Family Life, mentioned it, but Jody from Marketplace Boutique has done a couple of Canva videos as well, and some more of our friends have used that in a while. The reason why I recommend it is because it's literally free, and it gives you a lot. Sometimes software programs and websites and things don't give you very much for a free version. They want you to pay. Canva has paid options, and I have paid for it at times when I found it necessary. I usually personally use it for inspiration, and then I just copy the things that I like, change the colors, change the aspects and things like that on something like Photoshop. But these are just ideas, and lots of our friends here in the Superchat family will be able to help for anybody that's got questions about that. But I hope everybody will connect with Marketplace Boutique and check out her tutorials. So Just Jason Keto and More's on the screen right now, and I just want to check his live streams first because I think he's coming up tonight, yes, with Kendra, and that's going to be at 7 p.m. So shortly after Superchat finishes, there'll be fresh new content here. Jason is live every Thursday, somewhere between 7 and 7:30 Eastern, and sometimes he has a guest with him, sometimes he's on his own, but he's going to talk about healthy eating and healthy living, particularly when it comes to a keto-based diet or lifestyle. When he has a guest on the channel, they're going to share their tips, tricks, trials, tribulations, and suggestions, and he's got a vibrant community that will encourage and inspire when we have questions and comments in his live chats. Shorts on this channel have done really, really well. Some of the healthy looking grilling shorts have gotten into 5,000, 6,000, and I've seen this one at 22,000, which is entertaining, I promise you. Then videos on his channel. He posts frequently, usually a minimum of once a week, and Just Jason Keto and More is known for lots of recipes, very easy to follow with only a few ingredients, and then as well, he has got a lot of product reviews, and these can help us understand the ingredients we're going to either find or use and how they're going to impact us. Once in a while, he'll do something with some more variety, like take us on an adventure or unbox a product like a GoPro. This creator as well has got some clips from those interviews with guests on the channel, and hopefully everybody will connect with Just Jason Keto and More. He's another of the most supportive creators that I've met in my YouTube journey. I've met up with him a couple of times. We might be able to meet up again in January in a few weeks with a few other creators. Just Jason Keto and More is, like I said, a beloved and dedicated moderator and member here, and he's working on 3,500 subscribers, so I'm hoping we can push him a little bit farther towards that milestone. And he has got super chats and memberships available to support him with when we get there. Izzy Scott does graphic design and graphic art all the time. Actually, that's the focus of their channel in between live streams, so anybody can reach out for help from Izzy Scott. One of the things that I don't talk about enough, but that is an idea, is that anything you enjoy in part of your YouTube journey can be traded with somebody else for something that you don't enjoy. Let's just say it doesn't always have to be money. Sometimes people trade work. If you're somebody who enjoys doing banners and thumbnails and doesn't really like doing SEO and tags and promoting on other social networks, you could trade favors with other creators, or put gigs on places like Upwork and Fiverr and charge people small amounts of money or reasonable amounts of money or even expensive amounts of money if you want for that kind of work. As a hint, half of my full-time job for the last 7 years has been working on YouTube and other social media for other people. When you think about how much income that must be, you realize that you can actually turn some of your passions into streams of income if that's something you want to do. Brian Sports and Entertainment, yes, absolutely. For everybody in New Orleans, our thoughts and prayers go out to them for sure. Really horrific situation over there to start the new year. I don't know enough about it to know the motivation, but we'll leave it to everybody to look at that outside. PK Adventure Travels, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. Deb S. the Pug Mama Quilter is also in the house. I'll spin the wheel. We'll get another channel ready to go. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. Pardon me, Izzy Scott, I didn't realize you sent a super chat. I must have completely missed it there. But thank you for that, and thank you, yes, for letting everybody know to share the stream out. So thank you for that. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. So Izzy Ska will be up next. I'll talk about the graphic art that they do. And then thank you, Scratch and PPA. Yes, Izzy Ska, I've done that to them many, many times before. Luckily, we're all friends here. I'm praying, begging and praying for forgiveness there. Little Lego, good to see you in the house as well. It's Me, Alec, is an incredibly enthusiastic creator. This is somebody who's been with us for several years. They do a lot of live streaming and random content in their videos. They got a few shorts here as well. This creator's gotten into 400 views and beyond, which is great. Lots of live streams. They often do panels where they have other creators join them. Some are familiar to us. Some will be introduced to for the first time. 151 subscribers, but we know that It's Me, Alec has a handful of different channels as well, so I'll leave it to everybody to find them once you get over there with It's Me, Alec. And Izzy Ska's coming up now. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. Izzy Sky's up on the screen right now, so we're talking about the idea of graphic design. And by the way, Dolores, I've got you on the wheel. Thank you for coming in. Izzy Ska is working on 1,700 subscribers now, but this creator actually reset and restarted not too long ago. They've already pumped up the channel with tons of content already, almost 250 videos, and that includes live streams and shorts. But Izzy Ska has added to their description on the channel to let us know they're focused on digital art and design with tutorials, time lapses, and tool reviews as well. So they can talk about how to get some graphic art done, the things we need. Like they've always been known for these elaborate banners, thumbnails, and different graphics on the channel like their avatar. Monetized, of course, lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. They are live frequently, at least a couple of times a week. I caught them yesterday, of course. But Izzy Ska, the conversation can go anywhere once they get started, but they have had for a very long time a vibrant community. Shorts on this channel have now gotten into 500 views and beyond. Those will likely grow as they continue to post more and more. And Izzy Ska is very active and here with us just about every single day in our live streams. They also make banners and avatars and thumbnails and things like that for other people as well. So I'd recommend anybody thinking about that to head over to Izzy Sky's channel. They've been an incredibly over-the-top, generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter here in the Tuber Chat family for, I believe, a couple of years now. It's got to be getting on that, if not already. Handicapped Travelers has a couple of channels. We're going to look at both of them in a second. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. Judgment Day, Mike Harper's in the house. They're a member, so I've got them on the wheel already. And then Sir Dank for Jesus is up on the screen. This is another channel from Handicapped Travelers where they bring us inspiration and motivation in a spiritual way. And this channel now has over 90 subscribers right this second. We'd love to push them a little bit closer to the first 100. We know that the first 100 is as challenging as ever before, but as long as they're all doing as much as we can for each other, we see channels growing, hitting different milestones like the first 100 and far beyond all the time. Obviously generous, loyal, and dedicated supporters behind these channels, but I'm going to put their latest video into my catch-up playlist, and that's a playlist I use to keep caught up with creators. And then we'll look at Handicapped Travelers. And the idea here is to bring us travel-based content more than anything else from a certain perspective, of course. They'll give us an idea on their About section about what to expect on the channel. I'm just going to grab one of their latest videos. They just did a hotel review, and I'll put that into my catch-up list. That'll give me a chance to keep caught up with them. They're working on 1,400 subscribers on this channel, and more information on that About section, like I mentioned. They've got shorts over here and some interesting winter weather there. I think this is a brand new shorts video, actually. It might still be getting views, getting into 1,400 views, 2,600, and this new one at 2,600 as well. Then we've got live streams on the channel, and they've got one coming up at the end of the month. Hopefully I'll catch you for that. They just did one last week. They're usually on once a month or so. They give us a chance to get to know them and hang out, and the conversation can go anywhere once they get started. They're here with us just about every day, and they've been friends of ours for as long as I can remember already. So hopefully everybody will connect with them and get some of that support coming back to you as well. Thank you again, Easy Scott, for that super chat, by the way. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen as soon as those things happen. Our members are always added to the wheel, and it's almost time for me to add names to our wheel from our chat list based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation over the course of the stream. Rosalind Brinson's still here. I'm just going to get their name back onto the wheel. I shuffle around the wheel and remove names after a while if I think people aren't here, if I haven't seen them in a 20 minutes or half an hour or so, but members will always be added right back on. And like I said, I'll get another name onto the wheel from our chat list in another moment. Rooted in Essential Oils is up on the screen right now, and this is famous in the chat. You see them mentioned by name. This creator is got a different series of videos right now. They did a Vlogmas series, which is really cool. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list and have a look at that video. This creator is going to talk about essential oils, and while I know only the tiniest amount, certainly not an authority on essential oils, what I do know about them is they lend themselves perfectly to the idea of a YouTube channel. There's so much to talk about when we think about the different benefits different essential oils can have, and when you start mixing them together, the combinations can have even, up to almost an unlimited number of benefits. But I'll leave it to Rooted in Essential Oils to talk about that. They've got shorts on the channel as well, 2,400, 25, and 2,600 views on some of these shorts that bring a lot of variety. And then live streams. I've caught them many times. They've got one coming up in a couple of days and another one a few days after that. The conversation can go anywhere once they get started with those. I've caught them for some of these drive and chat live streams. So hopefully everybody will connect with them, push them towards the 1,600 subscribers we know they're thinking about. Of course, they're monetized, and Lots of ways to support them then, including super chats and memberships when we get to their channel. And we'll spin the wheel, and Tampa's Creek, Homestead, and More is coming up. This is a channel I'm still getting to know, but they grabbed a silver membership today. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Superchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. When I first saw this channel, they've been here a couple times, but when I seen them in the chat, I mentioned that I've got family that used to be in Tampa and everything else. Only realizing after they mentioned it that no, the channel's not Tampa, they're from Indiana, if I remember right, and they've got a bit of information on their About section right here. Yes, Indianapolis. And, pardon me, Indianapolis, yeah, is Indianapolis in Indiana? And forgive me for being mistaken about this. I'm in Canada. I would love it if I would know the states better than I do, and I really should. But I'm not 100% on like every capital of every state and, you know, things like that. But you guys can let me know if IN is Indiana. The postal abbreviation for the state. And then, yeah, PK Adventure Travels. No, because it's Tampa's Creek, I thought it was Tampa. So I went into this whole speech about, like, having family in Tampa, and I've been lucky enough to be there when I was younger and everything else, and then found out, no, they're from Indiana. All right, that's a different story. And there you go. Yes, it's the capital. So thank you for that, Handicapped Travelers, and a few other people mentioned it. So thank you for that. So Tampa's Creek, Homestead, and More. Hopefully I'll learn more about that from their channel. They're fairly new in the Tuber Chat family. They've just been here a handful of times, but they're working on 700 subscribers now, and they're monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. I see they got a couple new videos, and one where I have a red line that hasn't gone all the way across. That was in my watch later list, and I thought I cleared that out, but I must be mistaken. So I'm going to add it into my catch-up list as well, just to double check and make sure I get through that video, and then I'm going to have a look at this latest video that you put up a couple of days ago. And I see they just got a subscriber right now, 2 actually. They're up to 621. Now Tampa's Creek, Homestead, and More grabbed a silver membership today. That means we're going to see their channel every single day, whether they're here or not, starting with the next live stream, in the slides that run at the beginning, middle, and end of every live stream. People like Home Bartending with John and Trish the Natural are in there. Tampa's Creek, Homestead, and More has got shorts on the channel that have gotten into 5,000, 6,000 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. So they did one yesterday. Hopefully I'll catch you for another one of these. I caught them, must have been New Year's Eve. And then Tampa's Creek, Homestead, and More. We're hoping to push you a little bit closer to that 630 I know you'll be thinking about now. Let's spin the wheel. We'll get another channel ready to go. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. Yes, Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you, Gloria's Platter. Happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, she always comes in either when we're just about to go on a break or 60 seconds before, like today, so we'll do that in a few more minutes or another moment from now. We're going to talk about Life with Tanisha RN, and this is a creator that's fairly new in the Tuber Chat family. They've actually been with us for quite some time, but have just been here a handful of times, if I'm not mistaken. So I see that they've got an interesting product review. If anybody hasn't seen these Osmo Pocket cameras, similar, it's like a competitor to GoPro kind of thing. I'm just going to grab one of their latest videos. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. They do a lot of product reviews on the channel as far as I've seen so far. They've got quite a bit of information here, including planning, journaling, and a little bit of enjoying life. life, they say. Shorts on the channel as well have gotten into 500, 600, and almost 700 views, which is great. And then live streams. They've done a few of these up to a month ago. They seem to be on once every month or so. We'll probably see a new live stream coming up soon. So hopefully everybody will connect with Life with Tanisha RN. And what I will do is spin the wheel. We'll get another channel ready to go. I see New Horizons Above and Beyond in the house. Another brand new channel, Lukix Musica, is in the house. Thank you for being here. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right for you. And if I can be corrected, then please let me know. I always want to promote everybody's channel the way they want it promoted. Michael's Adventures is coming up next. Right before we look at that channel, we'll go on a break for 3.5 minutes again. And right before we do that, I'll play another clip from that interview series that I keep talking about. These are videos on the Tuber Chat channel, now listed in a playlist and as a podcast. All of the creators that are featured are longtime friends of ours. They've been with us for years, and they've all long passed their 10,000 subscribers. Well, thank you for that. So it's interesting that we're talking about shorts already. We've got a lot to go over today. But since you've mentioned it, that's one thing that I was planning to ask is the idea that you can give us, regardless of, like, you know, a lot of people are going to have different opinions about whether shorts are helpful. Some creators have broken off into separate shorts channels and things like this. But in your experience, now going through what you have with shorts, what advice can you give to somebody just in the beginnings of their YouTube journey before their 10,000 subscribers so that they can have the best chance of making shorts work for them as opposed to against them?
So ultimately, you've got to have a passion in what you're doing. There's no point in, say, I'm going to do videos on fixing cars when you have no idea on how to fix cars.
Yes.
Okay. I am more shocked at what people are willing to sit there and watch than actually do it. I did over the Christmas period, I was given a huge model to build and I live streamed it. It's not quite finished yet. I've still got another day on it. So it'll be another like 8 years. So I was basically doing 4 to 6 hour live streams of building this kit. And people were turning up every day, having me in their background or in the background, watching me and listening to me while I was effing and jeffing at this kit. You know what I mean? And if they've got a passion for what you're doing, they're more likely going to watch that passion from you and push. So if you are going to set up a YouTube channel today, if your passion is walking, record it. But make sure that you envelop and make sure that what you're saying and what you put in the video is aimed at the audience. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, when I do a YouTube video, I don't think I'm talking to 50,000 viewers.
Yes.
I'm talking to one person.
Right.
So if you create a video of your passion, make it personal that you're talking to that one person that's watching you. If you see what I mean, you know, you are just talking to one person. So create the video for your best friend. So he's going to say, you know, and people will become endowed by that. They'll listen to that because you'll be like their friend as well. So that's my one tip, I think, is to make sure that you make the videos not personal in your life, personal about what's on the footage, and that you're basically making that video for your best friend.
Right. That's great advice too. Yeah. Each person, is looking through their own set of eyes, regardless of who they're with.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like those car repairs sneaking up. I know what Gloria's Platter is talking about. I actually had my starter go in my truck, which is now about 11 years old. And I was very lucky that I was close to home. I live in Niagara Falls in Canada, and most of us know that there's not much in the world more valuable than a honest and fair auto mechanic. So I've been using the same auto mechanic ever since I moved here, which is about 8 years ago. I asked a friend, somebody who's known Kristen, my girlfriend, for a long time, you know, do you know any mechanics in town? Because it's so important, and I'm from Toronto, so I don't have anybody out here. They introduced me to a great service shop, and I've been using them ever since. They're so honest. And when my starter motor went, I just Ubered out of there and left the truck to be towed, and it only cost me $60, and I'm in Canada, so that works out to like 40, you know, American, or 45, which is great because they towed it to the mechanic's shop. It's the mechanic's tow truck that got it, and far less than the $200 or $300 or $400 it costs these days just to hook a truck up or a car or anything like that. So my dear goodness. But hopefully that works out. Gloria's Platter starters, they go usually after 100,000 miles or something like that. So routine stuff. Doesn't I don't imagine anything's really wrong. And then Backyard Trucker and Tales Told in the Dark have come in, so I put them on the wheel. I've also added a couple of names. So Jesse Miller Unboxings and More and Consume the Goodness are both onto the wheel now. And over the course of the stream, we're usually here for 3 hours. I add names to the wheel based on who's been most actively engaged in conversation over the course of the stream. That means in the chat, of course. Oh no, yeah, PK Adventure Travels. That's one of those things where it rains, it pours. And I'll tell you a story just for a second because we do have time today. But this is absolutely the truth. A long time ago, I heard the idea that most people feel that they may be unlucky. So a lot of times what we would guess is that somebody would be like, okay, you got a 50-50 shot on doing this thing. I'll tell you what, I'll bet you $1,000. And, you know, most people would not want to do it. I mean, I don't recommend betting or anything like that. It's a bad example. But most people would say like, oh, with my luck, it won't work out. There's no way. So I decided a long time ago that I personally was going to say out loud many times, I tend to be lucky. And it has turned out to be somewhat true. Not all the time, not winning the lottery lucky or anything like that, but luck in the idea that things, first of all, could always be worse. But I don't necessarily believe that horrible things have to happen in threes. You know, two things can break and that can be it sometimes. And a lot of times, you know, we dread things like auto repairs or, you know, big expensive, what feels like almost a waste of money and this and that, but we're lucky enough that it's not as bad as we think. Sometimes you get good news, you know, and I've had just as much bad news, but I have had half good news. And I'll tell you the ridiculous example that I usually use for that, but when it comes to auto traffic tickets and things like that, I don't consider myself a horrible driver until I tell the story, but I've had my share of speeding tickets and things like that, but I've also been let go half of the time, both in Canada and the States, because I've always been close enough to the border. So whether it's 10 or 20 different tickets I've had in my life, I've been let off half the time. And that's just a small example, but I say that often. I tend to be lucky when it comes to the idea of contests or like charity events and things like that. I'm like, hey, you know what? There's always a chance I could be the one. It has to be somebody. And sometimes those dreaded expenses can turn out to be a lot less detrimental than we think, if that makes any sense. Lisa J. Stocks, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. And, oh yeah, Brian Sports and Entertainment. I've actually seen, so copyright is one thing. A copyright claim is not a horrible thing. We don't want too many of them, but those can happen inadvertently. If you're somebody who does any outdoor content, or I know you're mentioning commentating on some sporting events, copyright claims can come in, and it just means you don't get monetized on the videos in which those occurred, if that makes any sense. But copyright strikes are bad, 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 bad news, and guideline strikes from YouTube are terrible as well. I've had a friend get a couple because he likes to keep taking chances, going to bars and restaurants and trying to live stream while sporting events like NHL or MLB and stuff like that are on. You cannot do that. I don't recommend anybody ever try to do that kind of thing. Even if you're like, I know I'm filming myself and it's on the screen behind me, you can get copyright strikes and guideline strikes, and 3 strikes you're out. So we don't want that. We don't want people's channels deleted and things. So that's just a idea. But unfortunate though, yes, and sports is one of those touchy things, especially when it's pro sports. They are very protective of their intellectual property. Michael's Adventures, up on the screen right now, is a creator who brings us more of his own intellectual property than almost anybody in the Tuber Chat family. He's got 3,900 videos and shorts on the channel right now, and he posts every single day, sometimes more than once a day. A lot of his videos will average anywhere from a half an hour to 2 hours long. What he brings us is a lot of wildlife and nature more than anything else. So he brings raccoons, deer, foxes, opossums, bird watching, and he takes us for a lot of outdoor adventures as well. We call these walk and talks, where he will take us for a walk around his area, some stories to be told, a little bit of history might come up. And lately he's been doing a lot of slot play on a phone or tablet, and he's done this kind of thing before. We'll see that when we get into the shorts videos on the channel. Michael's Adventures goes far over and above when it comes to helping other creators, particularly with things like watch hours and playlists. He's over 1,500 subscribers now. When we look at the shorts on his channel, we see more variety, mixing some outdoor content with some lottery ticket scratching, which is a huge category and genre on YouTube. Of course, we've seen it already, and that slot game that we're talking about, now over 6,200 views on one of those shorts, which is also great. So hopefully everybody will connect with Michael's Adventures. I've said it many times before, but every moderator on this channel is a longtime dear friend of mine. They're all dear friends of each other. They all have different channels. They all do different things, but one of the things they all have in common is an overwhelming sense of generosity, and for that reason, when you visit any of their channels for premieres or live streams, you'll be welcome to meet more friends and family members for your own channel the same way we do here in Tuber Chat. Consume the Goodness is coming up. I see Twisted Reed is in the house. I'm hoping I haven't missed any other channels. And so, yeah, Tampa's Creek Homestead and more. I mean, music is not necessary. A lot of people will put background music in videos and things like that, but I don't think it's necessary at all, especially in do-it-yourself or how-to videos. But that's just my opinion. I do have a suggestion for everybody, and you'll know whether, it applies to you or not when I say it. But one of the things we can think about is if you're going to use music of any kind at all in the background of your video, get it to a level that you think is just barely loud enough, and then knock it down by a couple of decibels as well, because almost everybody puts background music louder than it needs to be in their videos. And again, that's just opinion, but I used to work in music and audio and radio, and my job, one of my first jobs when I was in my early 20s, was working for a radio station making commercials. And the idea is to put the voices over music and other things and mix those up. But I notice when I get to YouTube that sometimes background music's a little bit loud. Not for everybody, but you know what I mean. And then again, hopefully I haven't missed anybody in the chat. Not to mention, for those of you who haven't already seen it, all the same music that you hear in the background of Tuber Chat is available as copyright-free music, and it's published on all major music platforms. So it's on iTunes and Spotify, Apple Music, Google Music, everywhere else, including TikTok, Instagram for Reels and things like that, and other social media platforms. So when you're making those things, you can seek out that music. And if you're confused about the name, it's actually the words thrive together with no vowels. And if you look on the front page of TuberChat, you'll find a YouTube channel dedicated where that music has been released. But like I said, it's on all major music platforms as well. The safest place ever is on the YouTube audio library. We can get to that from our YouTube studio, of course, but we also have that music available. It's very limited. There's only about 60 songs. They're all of one genre or type of music right now, but that's there for everybody to use if you would like to. And then Consume the Goodness is up on the screen right now. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. And then, yeah, so Scratch and Pete PA is a great example of somebody who's got his levels perfect, because he typically has, he doesn't talk in every single video, but almost every one, or most of them, let's say the majority. And he has music at the right level when it's appropriate, but when he's about to talk, he either knocks it down completely or to a level that, you know, you barely even notice that the music is there. That's what it's meant for, just to carry the rest of the content, if you want to put it that way. And then the other thing we have to think about, the way I relate this all the time, is to think about how we used to put music in our voicemail messages. So let's say you're setting up your voicemail on your phone and you put a song in there, and it's like, but you're never going to hear it. You're making everybody else hear it. When we think about our YouTube videos, what if somebody doesn't like the music? Because it has nothing to do with the video, right? If it doesn't, you know what I mean? You're just putting in to be background music. Not everybody's going to want that. They might turn off your video just because of it. So we just have to think of what kind of video we're making and then decide whether we want music in it or not. But my recommendation, again, I know I say the same things over and over, but is to knock down the music whenever the voice is there. In radio, we call it ducking, or in audio production. And what that means is your music or audio is going at a certain level, and then it ducks underneath the voices while they're there and then comes back up. And you'll notice that there's another word for it called compression. But when you listen to professional audio, whether that's on a radio or a podcast in professional podcasts or television, you'll notice that happens. The music is at full volume when it needs to be, cuts down. You can always hear what the people are saying, and that's an example. So these are just ideas. And then you were surprised, Rosalind Brinson says, at how many creators went live on New Year's Eve. I myself personally wasn't surprised to see so many. I saw tons, dozens, if not hundreds of our friends going live between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But it's always a busy time. December tends to be an incredibly busy month, and that relates to just about everything on YouTube, and then sometimes it carries over into January. When we get closer to March and April, you'll see things start to thin out a little bit. And then hopefully I'm not missing anybody in the chat and missing anything anybody meant for me to see. And Consume the Goodness, part of me, is up on the screen right now. You'll see this creator often referenced by her name Kendra. She's actually going to be featured on Just Jason Keto and More's channel tonight in a few more hours, about 3 hours from now at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can head to possibly her channel too. Are they doing it together? Yeah. So she'll be live with him, and you can catch either of them on their channels, or some of us are able to watch both at the same time. We might do that. I just set the notification for that. And then is it worth the cost is the theme behind what they're going to talk about, which I'm assuming is a keto-based diet or lifestyle, the idea of healthy eating and healthy living. And it'll be great to hear these two creators get together again to talk about that. When we look at live streams, we see Kendra is live frequently, actually. She's usually live, it looks like lately, a couple times per month, but she did a special New Year's stream, so there you go right there. And then these seem to be sporadic, like not exactly with a schedule. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Kendra. But monetize, lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. She's working on 1,500 subscribers. Got some shorts over here that have gotten into 13,000, 26,000, one over 49,000. And I went back the other day to watch one that I actually just wanted to see. I love pizza. Boy, do I ever love pizza. And when I saw this video, I knew there has to be something about this, because it's all but impossible, in my opinion, to make healthy pizza. But she found a way, or healthier, let's put it that way. So something you don't have to feel so terrible about. And if you have a look at this shorts video, you'll get a really unique twist on pizza. And I intend to try making that at some point. Then videos on this channel as well. So Kendra posts frequently, usually at least once a week, if not twice, and more interesting, healthier meals. I love lasagna too, so a keto-based lasagna would be a good idea. It's one of the things that I make pretty well. Let's spin the wheel. We'll get another channel ready to go. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. And then I wonder if I missed something in the chat there. I hadn't put PK Adventure Travels onto the wheel. I must have just missed that. And there you go, yeah. A lot of people, I think, you may not even be able to hear most of the music in the background of Tuber Chat. The songs that I play, like, it's all our copyright-free music, and they just randomly shuffle on this channel. But they should be, it should be almost non-existent until I stop talking, which is never. Just Jason Keto and More says, more than just diet related tonight. So, yeah, forgive me, because Just Jason Keto and More is a great friend. He's somebody who's been with us a long time. I've met up with him a couple of times in real life as well. And I'm sure that I'm guilty of this one thing that a lot of people might associate as soon as we start talking about keto-based diet or lifestyle, is using the word diet as opposed to a lifestyle change, right? And the idea is to live a healthy lifestyle, and that includes the things that we eat. The need for a diet won't be there because the side effect is weight loss, if I understand right. Jason Keto and More talks about this kind of thing all the time. But somebody like me, it's a lifetime of habit. As soon as we see something healthy, we think the word diet. Hopefully that will change, and people like Kendra and Jason are doing a job of making those kind of things a little more better and more mainstream, if we want to put it that way. AceFlaw1 is in the house. That's Andy. He's been with me about 5 years. Tales Told in the Dark is Cassie. She's been with us about 4.5 years. And then we're going to talk about our content in a second. I am Betty J. Gathers is just asking, if the Tuber Chat song is copyright free. So far it is, right? Jake Huston is a creator that's been a friend of ours for a few years. He recently made dozens of theme songs for channels, including Tuber Chat. It came as a very pleasant surprise. And so far, I see that song is copyright free. He used a copyright free AI system called Suno, S-U-N-O, if I'm pronouncing that right. And so far, I see that it doesn't have any copyright claim or anything like that. The website itself claims that the stuff that is made is not going to be copyright on sites like YouTube and things like that, if that makes any sense. I'm not describing it in technical terms, but I promise you it's extremely confusing. The song is great. He did a great job with the Tuber Chat one. He's done dozens of them. I've heard several of them. But I wouldn't recommend to anybody else to use that kind of thing. When I talk about the copyright-free music on this channel, which includes the what we might call a theme song because they're at the beginning, middle, and end of the live streams, the typical, what is it, trap or drum and bass kind of sounding song there. It's very melodic, but you know what I mean. And all the music you hear in the background, those I own all of the rights 100%. I had them produced and have published them myself personally on all the major music platforms with a legitimate system so that I could guarantee that they would be copyright free before anybody got their hands on them, let's just say. But I wouldn't recommend anything else just because I don't know what's going to happen in the future of these services and everything like that. But so far, it seems to be copyright free, but thank you for asking. Tales Told in the Dark is Cassie from Oracles and Beyond, and this creator's got another channel now. They've been running for a couple of years at 2,300 subscribers, and this is where they are bringing us the land of ASMR and mythology, mythical creatures, cryptids, scary stories, history, and much more. If you haven't already heard Cassie's voice, you're going to see somebody who would otherwise trick me into possibly thinking they're a professional voice artist, as a matter of fact. She's always had a vibrant community that's very warm and welcoming to everyone. And a new video from yesterday. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. That will give me a chance to get caught up or keep caught up with the channel. Shorts over here have gotten into 4,600, 5,300, one at 9,900. I think that one is going to hit 10,000 views at some point. And then when we get to live streams, we see that she's on up to a few months ago occasionally. Cassie's got plenty of friends that have joined her for many live streams. We've got things like oracle readings and stories to be told between them as well. So let's spin the wheel. And then thank you so much, Gloria's Platter. Susie Woozy, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. And forgive me for not being sure if you've been in the Tuber Chat live streams before. PK Adventure Travels is coming up right now. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. They really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. PK Adventure Travels has been here for just about every live stream for the last little while as well, and I'm talking at least a month, if not a couple of months. And thank you, Susie Woozy, for that. Yes, I was uncertain, but it's great to have you here, and hopefully you're feeling welcome. PK Adventure Travels is monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. They're working on 900 subscribers, so they'll have to be excited. That'll put them officially on the road to 1K. When we look through this channel, we see that these creators are doing a very thorough job when it comes to the idea of their travel-based content, particularly what I've seen so far, which is ship tours. They're going to talk to us about the amenities, the excursions, and everything there is to do with either cruise ships or their other travel, including a couple of premieres that they've got set up. One of them for Saturday, so I'll be looking forward to that. And then as well, they've got one coming up about a week later. So they might be posting weekly on schedule when we look at the dates on some of these, which is great. I often recommend here that when we can get to a level of consistency, posting one video per week. Videos drive a channel. So shorts are good for subscribers, live streams are good for monetization, but it's videos, in my opinion, that drive a channel. If we can get to a point of putting out one video a week, that's enough to make a channel grow organically, and then the things we do here in these Tuber Chat live streams just speed everything up. PK Adventure Travels has got some shorts here as well, into 10,000 and even 12,000 views, which is great to see. This is a really cool, just this thumbnail alone is telling me that the room might be bigger than what I had seen. I've only ever been on one cruise ship, but I worked there for a summer. It was like 100 years ago. It was in 1996, and I know ships have come a long way. They're two, 3, and even probably 4 times the size of anything that I had seen. They got a cool camper in this in these thumbnails. That looks like a perfect size camper. The smallest one that you can get, these enclosed trailers, they look a little bit small for me. My family had trailers that we used to use like on the weekends to go up to a place with a lake and all that stuff, and the kids would play and all this. And they upgraded over years. We started with a pop-out tent kind of trailer, and then moved into a little bit of a larger one, and in the later years they moved into another one, and then that was that ended many years ago. But interesting stuff. I still wonder today if one of these days I'll get one of these things and start heading through the States to visit some of the friends we've made over the last few years on YouTube. They've got a new video here and another live stream, pardon me, so they were on the road. I didn't catch that one. Hopefully I'll catch you for another live stream soon. I caught them a few weeks ago, but they seem to be live every week. They've got the whole month set up, so we'll be looking forward to another one another week from now. And that was yesterday that they just did one and monetized, like I said. So we've always got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of catching each other as much as we can. And then, yeah, RVs, I mean, you know, there's an author that I follow, not all the time anymore, because the guy puts out a book every year, and you know he's been doing this since 1990 something, so it's too many books for me. But Robert Kiyosaki is the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's the most successful personal finance book of all time, and I've read several of his books and things like that. But one of the things that he said way back in before the year 2000 was, you think homes are expensive now, wait until 20 years from now. And the same goes for just about everything in life. When we look at what we're paying for, even for groceries now, rent, cars, everything else, it is something else. And RVs. I noticed that just a few years ago, I window shop for all kinds of stuff, just as much as anybody does. When I had looked at some of the less expensive RV type trailers and stuff like that, just window shopping. But I look at that stuff, whether it's Coleman's. I know Winnebago's more of a premium brand, but there's a few. I think Starcraft is the company I'm thinking about. You used to be able to get the smallest trailer for 10 grand and Canadian, and now it seems to be 20 is the starting point. And I'm like, how did we go double? Not to mention during the COVID years, you know, there was a point when inflation really took off, and the Home Depot we have in Canada, we've got several of them in the Toronto and Southern Ontario area. When I went through there, they've got the other kinds of trailers that are just like open trailers. The landscape guys use them for putting their lawnmowers and things on, or people will use them for an RV and things like that. They were, if I remember right, $1,200, you know, or $1,250, $1,300, and they doubled the next year. I said, how is that possible? The same 3 or 4 trailers that were in the yard last year are now double the price in the spring. This is something else. So you can see I get pretty fired up when it comes to the idea of inflation and the fact that I truly believe that it has been unfair the way that things have grown over the last little while. But that's just an idea. Dolores is up on the screen, just a pink girl in her pink world, as she said on her YouTube About section. When we look through the About section, she's actually added a little bit here. And then she's going to talk about Canva too. So we talked about that earlier. She's got the logo right there on her banner. Dolores has 271 subscribers right now. We'd love to push them a little bit farther towards the 300 they're thinking about. And then, see, that makes sense too, to a point. Backyard Trucker. So, yeah, demand and supply, of course, is what makes the economy work. Not that I'm an authority, but it's obvious. You know, I still wonder, though. I wonder how some of the stuff that is sitting in a yard, because I do a small bit of construction work as well and have for many years, even the construction supplies, even the things we need like drains and catch basins, for those of you who know what they are and things like that, even when it's the same one that was sitting there last year and hasn't moved, and then we had to buy it this year, it's double the price or pretty close to it. And it drives me kind of up the wall just as much as everybody. Oh yeah, looking for a new truck. Just Jason Keto and more. So I window shop for cars. I thought about buying a car during the COVID years. And I'll get back to channels in a second here. I was looking for a car, and it was at the end, I believe, the last year of the COVID fiasco. And then I went and gave a deposit. I was going to buy a Toyota Corolla. It's probably a better idea that I ended up not getting it. But what happened is the dealership called me 6 months later, texted me actually, said, come back and get your deposit. We can't get cars. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, so I didn't get one. And it's fine. It's probably better because right now I need something a little bit higher for a couple people in my family to get in and out of a little bit better. Corolla's a lower, very popular car. And then when we... if you can get a great deal, Backyard Trucker, that's great. Yeah, I'm not as versed as a lot of people about how to really get that done with things, but I know for sure I bought my truck in 2013. It is a 2013, but I bought it in 2013, and the price of that truck today is the same price as something like a Honda CR-V or a Toyota RAV4, which are like compact SUVs today. Like, oh my goodness, in just 11 years, this is what happened. So forgive my whining and complaining. When we look at Dolores' channel, we see a lot of pink-themed videos. I'm just going to grab the latest one, though. Dolores Gaming. So this is a gameplay video, am I right? Yeah, this looks interesting. They can make video games out of everything now. I'm really surprised. And I'm going to have a look at the shorts on the channel as well. These have gotten into 500. One of them almost 900 views, which is really cool. And then live streams as well. So they got a podcast going on. They've been doing these for a while now. They seem to be coming out every week or so. And hopefully everybody will connect with Dolores. They have been another generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter. And then let's spin the wheel. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Superchat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Consume the goodness makes me laugh. Backyard Trucker Andy is coming up here. This is a self-employed small business owner, a truck driver. He takes us on the road a lot of the time, but when he started the channel, he let us know he's going to film just about anything and everything we could find interesting. A lot of do-it-yourself videos have come out on the channel, and then he's got a new truck. There it is right there, and that's really cool. And the one thing I can say about the idea of possibly saving money, anybody here who's bought more, a handful of vehicles and knows about them would know more than I do. But I have bought my handful over a lifetime, right? And the idea of buying a car or a vehicle, like a vehicle that's for personal use, not commercial, let's just say. If you're going to buy it towards the end of the season, before when they're clearing out, let's say now the 2024s are going to start getting cleared out while they move the 25s in, unless they've already done that, you know what I mean? But if you can buy a vehicle later, you might be able to get a deal. One of the first brand new cars that I bought, I'm not a fan of buying brand new cars now. I'd probably buy something used the next one that I get. But my truck was brand new. The car before that was brand new, and I drove that for 10 years. That was a Mazda Protege. What happened was they had just come out with those Mazda 3s and Mazda 5s, I think they were called, right at the time. The Protege, I got one of the very last ones. I think it was a 2002 or 2003. And when I bought it, I went into the dealership. And keep in mind, I'm in Canada. So the Mazda 3 that I went in there to look at was $21,000. That was the suggested price at the time for a base model. I bought Mazda Protege because the sales guy said to me, here, wait, before you buy it, let me show you something. And of course I rolled my eyes sarcastically, and I'm like, all right, show me something here. What's this speech going to be? And then showed me a car. He goes, the reason nobody wants this car, first of all, it's a sedan, so it's almost like a small family car, but it's a stick, and I drive stick, so I wanted it. He goes, but because it's the very last one of the year, it's $7,000 less than the brand new Mazda 3 from the next year. And I said, wow, I'd love to save that $7,000. So for sure. So I bought it for $14,000 at the time. So again, that is, a long time ago. But I tend to try to buy a car with a lot of utility, hopefully keeping my cars for at least 10 years. I drove that thing into the ground. That thing had 350,000 kilometers on it by the time it was falling apart. And I've driven it to the States a million times as well. The truck that I have now has just over 350,000 kilometers, but because it's a Ford F-150, much like this Ram, that actually not even as powerful as this Ram that Backyard Trucker's got. He's got a 2500, not a 1500, which would have matched. These things, it's barely halfway through its life. Those things could hit 700,000 kilometers without breaking a sweat. Yeah, it is theft repellent. I told the kids when they were growing up, I go, I'll teach you how to buy stick. You got to drive manual because your friends won't be able to drive it. And people aren't supposed to drive each other's cars. You got to be careful with insurance. Charlie Grace, good to see you in the house. And then, that's the thing, Twisted Reed. And in my opinion, I do great at sales as well. So when I have to deal with a salesperson, I'm listening carefully. Not that I'm going to catch everything, and I'm not saying I know everything about it, but okay, are you selling me the car you want to sell me, or are you selling me the car that I need? But that's just an idea. And not saying it's a great idea, that's just a story I like to tell. Mazda's always done well. I don't know if they share with Toyota, the factories, at least here in Canada, or whatever, but Mazda seems to run as long as Toyotas do. Most mechanics will choose Toyota over anything else. That's why I lean towards that now. I don't know what I'm going to do in the new year. Backyard Truckers up on the screen right now. Like I said, Andy's going to bring us on the road. Lots of do-it-yourself videos. He's got shorts over here, and the dash cam footage has done incredibly well. He's got 12,000, 13,000, 15,000. And Kristen Welton, my girlfriend, actually got me a dash cam setup with Apple CarPlay thing and everything else, screen for Christmas, the second one, because she did that last year and I smashed it, unfortunately, before I even unboxed it. But she got me one of these things, so I'm looking forward to hooking that dash cam up. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because I'm waiting until I can get an unboxing and product review video done, and then I'll put it together, and I hope to get some dash cam footage and do something with that. Backyard Trucker's done really well with that. And live streams. This creator's on the road all the time, just about every day. They take us on the road with them. Pardon me, usually for vertical live streams lately, and they've got a bit of luck that's come from the YouTube recommendation engine, pushing them out a little bit here and there. So they've jumped up in subscribers and everything as well. They're officially on the road to 2K, which is great to see. And there's always interesting conversation going on there. And of course, Backyard Trucker is monetized. Lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get over there. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. So Marketplace Boutique is going to come up, and then we're going to look at day one walks. I just spun the wheel, but thank you, Scratch and PPA. He caught me again. I did that to Andy last time as well. He dropped a super chat so that we would look at Marketplace Boutique, and forgive me because I did see that, but I was talking so much, like I always do, that I skipped over it, but it's okay. We'll look at her channel right now. Gloria's Platter's asking a trick, you know what you drive? Yes, I knew that was going to be a trick question. Gloria's Platter. She often does things like that in her videos as well. She does a really good job, a really great job of enticing comments in her videos. And that's right, yes, Susie Woozy, that's a great idea. As a matter of fact, I hadn't done that ever before in my life, but when it was time for me to buy my truck, because I was going from a car to a truck, I called the insurance a couple months before, and I said, hey, I'm thinking about buying a truck, and what will that do to my insurance? And they said, oh, it's only going to go up by like $10 a month. And again, I'm in Canada, so it's like $7 American. And I said, oh, that's great, because the Mazda Protege I was driving has a safety rating of the lowest, and the truck that I was about to buy has a safety rating of the highest. So that's how that worked out, and that was great. So my insurance, luckily, I use a broker. I know you can save money by doing it yourself, but I think the broker actually saves me more money, because it's done nothing but go down every year for the last 8 years until this year. It just barely went up a little bit. But I got to look into that as well. Marketplace Boutique is up on the screen right now. So thank you again, Backyard Trucker, for another super chat. He's done that countless times before. Oh, trucks aren't considered passenger vehicles. I'm assuming it's the same in Canada. Yeah, I'm uncertain. I drive my truck like a car. I didn't buy it to be a work truck or anything like that. I've moved some, friends and family's furniture and things like that. Towed for the first time the other day, a few weeks ago. But it's basically used like a car. My intention in buying it was to make sure it lasts forever. As my family's getting older now, the kids are all grown, they're all adults, and then the idea is that whenever anybody has to move anything, we have this utility that all of us can use, if that makes any sense, and it'll last literally forever. Hilda DC, I'm not sure if I ever said hello. I saw you come in a long time ago. I put you on the wheel. We're going to look at Day One Walks in a minute, but Marketplace Boutique, we talked about this channel for a second too, because she's done a couple of Canva tutorials. And she talks about YouTube a little bit as well. When we look at this channel, Jody started with the idea of e-commerce, and she's been doing this since 1998. After a career change, she shows us on her YouTube channel how to buy and sell so that we can bring in another stream of income, especially from platforms like eBay. She even takes us shopping, as a matter of fact, to show us how she finds some of the things that she buys and sells. Shorts on this channel bring pure variety, like lots of creators in the Tuber Chat family, but they've served her well at 14,000, 17,000, 19,000. And then when we get to live streams, we see that Jody's live occasionally, sometimes collaborating with Backyard Trucker, sometimes on the water, sometimes on the road, sometimes by the fire. And Marketplace Boutique is here with us just about every day as well, working on 1,800 subscribers and monetized as well. Lots of ways to support her, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Rambling with the Brooms is in the house. I've got them on the wheel now. Thank you again, Backyard Trucker, for that super chat. He dropped that so we would look at this channel, and we always honor those kinds of things as well. Day One Walks, I'd already spun the wheel, so that's the next channel that we're going to look at. But right before we do, we'll take another break for 3.5 minutes, and right before we do that, I'll play one more clip from our interview series. Again, these are videos on the Tuber Chat channel, and all of the creators that are featured were asked for their opinion, while I tried not to add a lot of my own. We hear from me every single day that we're here, but I wanted to hear what they have to say. They are long time friends of us here in the Tuber Chat family, and they've long passed their 10,000 subscribers. So one of the questions that's going to come up, especially when we've got a channel that's just grown, I mean, you guys have content getting into like well over 200,000 views, and people are always going to want to know how they can get more views on their video shorts and streams. So what can you tell us in your experience that you would give somebody as advice now?
I'm going to go first.
Yeah, you're a master at this one.
Don't be afraid to go back and change the thumbnails and the tags and the titles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to do that. It doesn't have to be the exact same as it was when you posted it. If you have a better idea for a title or a thumbnail or a description or anything like that, go ahead and try it. Because no matter how many times you change it, YouTube is going to pick something.
Yep.
And it might push it out more. More people might like maybe the colour scheme on it or the wording on it or something like that. And that'll help bring more people in. That's what I think anyway. Because we were afraid to do that for a long time. And then when we started doing that a little bit, we noticed a bit more growth.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's my opinion. What do you think?
Well, a lot of what Danielle said is spot on, but the thing about it is that's what's great about YouTube. You have that space to just go, you know, I didn't like that idea the first time it went up. Like, we've had thumbnails and we've had tags, we've had hashtags and stuff. We thought, oh, this is gonna go, it's gonna be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And no, it just went straight into the toilet.
Yeah.
But that's fine, because the beautiful part is you can go back, you can change it over, you can go, I'll experiment with this. Sometimes it could be, now this is what is crazy about YouTube, could be a tag changed, it could be the title. Like, as much as people go, it's the thumbnail, like the title does play a major part, because like if you turn around, let's say a plane flying in the sky, or you turn around and say a plane does a nosedive and then lands perfectly, what sounds better? Maybe that might work for some people, but see the way the two titles, like, well, I can just look at a plane, or oh, what's going to happen here? I don't know why I used the plane, but that's just where I went for it.
Yeah, but you're absolutely
just the
right.
contrast of like titles and tags,
It does make a difference.
it does. It's like from our experience anyway, it has. Like, we went back and sometimes we just changed the thumbnail, and that did make a big difference. Like that what thumbnail we do on? We done it on one of the military videos, and we done it actually the Star Spangled Banner video. We had the original thumbnail for that. We thought was the best thing we ever made. Got rid of it. See, this is what happens. Like a month later, we're like, "Wow, this is the worst thing we could have ever put up." I know people are probably going, "No, it's really good," but this is what happens in your own head. You're like, "Wow, this is like not great," but we changed it to that one, and we love that one, and probably next month we'll change it again. But don't be afraid to change around your content and really experiment with what's out there.
That's great advice. All right, we're just about back. We're going to look at Day One Walks. I already spun the wheel. They've got 2 channels, actually. This is a friend we've known for many years, and they've recently started this new channel. We'll look at both of theirs in a second. But I did want to just ask that question. It came up as a thought, something I think about all the time. I don't necessarily watch every single one of my own live stream replays, and I'm not talking about Tuber Chat. I've rewatched plenty on here as well. But on my personal channel, let's say if I'm doing outdoor live streams or interviews and things like that. But I'm just curious to know, so I'll close that poll out in another second. But the idea is exactly what Greenland Quilter Katie was saying there, is to watch back and then hopefully improve, because you can see some of the habits that you have, and we all have different things that we might do. Pardon me while I fix my camera here, sort of. Not necessarily things like touching our face and touching our hair. I often do something like this. You know, I don't know if that's a nervous habit or just something, but we often will get caught saying things like or in the middle of every sentence, and the idea is to try to cut those down, try to improve over time. It is going to be impossible, in my opinion, for us to listen to ourselves back and then understand what it's like to hear ourselves from another person's perspective, but we can try. Right? We can listen and we can know if we have different habits or things we repeat over and over again. For anybody that's known me for any length of time, I will often use the phrase, "to be honest with you." And there's no reason. Why on earth are you saying that at all? You don't need to say anything. But somebody will ask me a question. They'll be like, "Oh, what do you think about Niagara Falls?" And I'll be, "Well, to be honest with you, it's great to live there. But why did I need to say that sentence?" Right? It's just habit, and we can think about these things and then see what it's like so that we can improve. The analytics in the background are going to tell us a lot about why people leave our videos or when people leave, so that we can get an idea of some of the things we might say. The biggest YouTubers that talk about the things that I'm talking about right now will say it can come down literally to a single word. Right? There are cultural differences even between countries that are very close together, like Canada and the United States and things like that. So that's just an idea. Most people never enjoy hearing their own voice. Things have changed over the years because we usually have video now to go along with it. But in the old days, you know, when a lot of us would do an interview and maybe put it on a cassette tape or something like that, or even burning CDs and things, when there's only voice with no video to reference, we can think our voice sounds very different than what it does to everybody else. And then when we look at Day One Walks, like I said, this creator's got a couple of channels. I'm just going to take their latest video. I'm going to put this into my catch-up list. That's another playlist I use to keep caught up with creators. Shorts on this channel have just started out now, but one of them's well over 500 views, almost at 600, which is great to see. And Day One Walks is the same creator behind Day One Adventures, and they've been a long-time generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter here. You might even recognize the channel. Almost 2,300 subscribers are getting there right now, and when we look at this channel, we see food, travel, events, and more. They've got a premiere coming up, actually, tomorrow, so we'll be looking forward to that. The other thing is the word "actually." A lot of us use the word "actually," and it's not necessary at all. There's a habit that I know I have as well as everybody else, but we can listen back to these things and see if we can improve them over time. 4,300, 5,700, 9,400 on some of their shorts videos. And then actually, to be honest with you, I see that they've got a live stream here. Fireworks. Seems like everybody loves fireworks, so lots of creators will put things like this up, but it's great that they've got one, and hopefully we can push them a little bit farther. They're here with us every day again. Ghostly Wins from Australia. Good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. I know it's difficult for some of our friends around the world to visit us. We move around our days and times for that reason. Face the Ace. Good to see you here. And then, so Cake and Me Eat Day with Cherry is another fellow Canadian from the Toronto area, actually, where I was born, raised, grew up, and continue to work. I live in Niagara Falls now, but it's only about an hour and a half away from Danforth Avenue Wellness, the creator behind Cake and Me Eat Day with Cherry. and they're asking, what do we think? Should Canada become? Should the USA become the 11th province of Canada? That's an interesting way to twist that one around. I hope nobody's getting too wrapped up in all that stuff. A lot of theatrics go on in a lot of the political things, and I don't want to get too political about it. But when I was in high school, I remember, and I think it was in a marketing class, if not geography, and they were talking about the idea that they think that Canada might one day be absorbed into the United States, not as one state, but as 11 or 12 or 13 provinces that would become states. I don't know whether that's even a possibility or anything like that. I'm not going to give an opinion about whether or not I even like the idea. We all know how dangerous that can be online. But what I can tell you is I do love being in the United States. I love our American friends, and I have got family in the States, and I hope to visit more and more as years go on. And then Day One Adventures, we're looking at right now, the second channel from Day One Walks, and like I said, food, travel, and eats over here videos, as well as some shorts, and then live stream have just started, and it's time to get to another channel. So I'm spinning the wheel prematurely. We'll get another channel up after Rambling with the Brooms and Leonica, who both dropped super chats. We'll see Judgment Day Mike Harper in a moment. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time, if that's what you would like. Okay, pardon me for a quick second here. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go on a very quick break, and we'll come back with Rambling with the Brooms and Leonica. We'll just go for the straight 3 minutes and come right back.
Are you out there grinding, day by day, creating your content, trying to find your way? You're dreaming big, but it's hard to stand. You need a crew who understands the plan. From your first of thousands up for the watch time grind, there's a place where creators come to shine. Join the wave, the movement, the vibe. With Tuber Chat, it's your time to thrive. Are you a small YouTuber looking to connect? Tuber Chat's got your back, come get respect. Grow your channel, get your content seen, with loyalty, badges, and perks so clean. Custom emojis, link drops to get featured and join the crew. Tuber Chat is where you belong. Together we rise, together we're strong. The first 4,000 hours to the rising stars. Tuber Chat takes you far beyond the bars. No more struggling on your own. With the fam around, you're never alone. Exclusive perks for those who believe in the power of connection and what you can achieve. Your channel's your vision, we're here to help it grow. Join Tuber Chat, get in the flow. Are you a small YouTuber looking to connect? Tuber Chat's got your back, come get respect. Grow your channel, get your content seen, with loyalty, badges, and perks so clean. Custom emojis, link drops to get featured and join the crew. Tuber Chat is where you belong. Together we rise, together we're strong. You've got the passion, you've got the drive. With Tuber Chat, your channel will thrive. So hit subscribe, join the team. Let's build each other up, live the dream. Are you a small YouTuber looking to connect? Tuber Chat's got your back, come get respect. Grow your channel, get your content seen, with loyalty, badges, and perks so clean. Custom emojis, link drops to get featured and join the crew. Tuber Chat is where you belong. Together we rise, together we're strong. So join the ride, it's time to shine. With Tuber Chat, success you'll find. Let's grow together, it's what we do. The future's bright when we rise with you.
All right, we're just about back, and hopefully everybody enjoys. That's an example of those theme songs that I was talking about. Jake Huston has done those for dozens of channels in the Tuber Chat family. And our dear friends, Two Pineapples, we heard from them earlier, one of the clips from our interview series. I hope everybody will connect with Two Pineapples if you haven't already seen them. They have a literal 24-hour live stream going on their channel at all times, and they bring us some travel-based content as well as from their home base of Hawaii. So, Rambling with the Brooms is up on the screen right now. I spun the wheel. We'll look at Judgment Day Mike Harper after Leonica, but Rambling with the Brooms and her dropped a super chat each, and I really do appreciate that because they've both done that countless times before. Scott took over our stream boss position. That's the video game life meter under my camera here. Every super chat and membership knocks a little bit of life off of the stream boss. The last person to knock them out and take over gets some extra exposure for their channel. And then, yeah, I know, Two Pineapples gotta be laughing. I'll show you something. It's literally right beside me. I have 2 extra sets of lights. One was given to me for Christmas this year, and I just didn't open it today and fix the lighting. I've moved things around. I'm out of that office now that you see in my clips. I moved out of there. I had a bunch of family shuffling around, all for good reason, all good news, but I don't need the office anymore. So because I've now taken some of the furniture and moved it around, the camera doesn't fit the way it used to fit and all this stuff. So I got these lights that I got to hook up, but I have to get back to doing videos. Most of you know I'm behind, got to be months now on my personal channel, so I've got a few different things that I can unbox and review. I typically do a lot of that stuff, so I'll get that done and get the lighting fixed maybe within the next week or so. And Rambling with the Brooms is up on the screen. This is Scott. He's another friend of ours for several years, another beloved and dedicated moderator here. He's from the Ottawa area, and I expect actually to meet up with him again for the second time a few weeks from now. We're going to try to get Just Jason Keto out there, maybe a few other creators as well. Maybe even Danforth Avenue Wellness can come out. Rambling with the Brooms is working on 4,400 subscribers. I'm hoping we can push them a little bit farther towards that milestone. When we look at their channel, we know they're monetized, lots of ways to support them, including super chats and memberships when we get there. Scott has always been an advocate for helping others grow, especially when he finds channels under 100 subscribers. So we know that's a challenging milestone for anybody, but you'll meet lots of friends regardless when you get over to Rambling with the Brooms channel. It's homesteading content over here, whether it is outdoors or Scott indoors. If you're lucky enough, you'll catch him in the sugar shack making maple syrup not too long from now, probably within the next couple of months, and then he'll take us traveling as well. He's got a separate channel for me to show you, bringing travel-based content. Shorts feature variety outdoors, but with a bit of Canadian winter weather at 3,100, 7,100 views, 7,800 views and beyond. He's got a live stream coming up tomorrow. I caught him earlier today. He does a Thursday and Friday series, and he's been doing those for as long as I can remember. He also features a lot of other creators in StreamYard panels and has been featured on many other creators' channels, both in StreamYard, panels, as well as heading out literally hundreds of miles away to different meetups. When we look at travel escapes with the Brooms, we see a second channel from this creator where he's going to bring us travel-based content. He's just got a few things on there right now, a couple of videos, a few shorts to go along with them, but this is the same creator from Rambling with the Broom, so I hope everybody will connect with him. Greenland Quilter Katie, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that extra generous support. For that reason, we're going to put your channel up right after Judgment Day Mike Harper, because I already spun the wheel, but Rambling with the Brooms and Leonica also dropped super chats, and I really do appreciate that extra generous support. We always put super chatters and membership gifters onto the screen. As soon as those things happen, then we'll get back to spinning the wheel. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. When we look at Leonica, we see that this creator's just got a handful of videos so far to start the channel out with, but they're already well over 1,600 subscribers. Quite a few shorts over here, and it looks like healthy eating and healthy living might be a bit of a theme here, getting into almost 1,000 views on one of these shorts and 1,900 on another one. Live streams are where this channel shines. She does live streams fairly frequently, at least once a week by the look of it. I've caught her many times before and hope to catch her again. We've got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other. She lets us know on our About section we can expect some gaming reviews, online shopping, and much more with inspiration and positivity, of course. And then coffee walks and whatever. I know you've been here a while. I might not have said hello earlier, so forgive me for that. Thank you, Just Jason, Keto, and more. He'll be live later today with Consume the Goodness. They'll be on at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is just over 2 hours from now. So I hope everybody will join them on their channels for another discussion about healthy eating, healthy living, and much more, I'm sure. Judgment Day Mike Harper's coming up. If you haven't already given a thumbs up for today's live stream, I hope you will. It really do help. I hope everybody's always giving each other that thumbs up when you're out supporting each other. If you're on a phone, I know you have to turn the chat off to get that done, but you don't lose your place. It only takes a moment. I will appreciate it greatly. Even I have to be reminded to give that thumbs up from time to time, especially when I'm on a phone. So I know that 99% of what's said, especially like, you know, in the news and politically and stuff like that, can be looked at as like untrue, not real, or anything else. I tend to question everything. And just to reiterate on Two Pineapples joke there about, yeah, could you imagine if I had unlimited access across the border? My dear goodness, do I ever love being in the States when I visit. And it's been a long time now. It's been a few years since I've been over the border. But I'll tell you right now, if they ever come up with a deal for Canadians for dual citizenship and all that, I will be first in line. I love Canada. Proud to be Canadian. I love Toronto. Proud to have grown up there. Proud to be now from Niagara Falls for the last 8 years. I absolutely love living in Niagara Falls, Ontario. But I would love to be able to have unlimited free reign over crossing the border for sure. I've got family in the States, and my grandparents were snowbirds. I've got an uncle that lives there permanently now and a cousin and this and that. But my goodness, am I ever excited about the possibilities for snowbirds when we talk about the idea of living in Canada during the summers and then heading to places like Florida or Arizona for the winters. My understanding is that that rule says that we can go for 1 day short of 6 months, but they're trying to improve it or increase it to 1 day short of 8 months. So I look forward to that as well. It could be an idea for the future. Judgment Day Mike Harper's up on the screen right now. This creator does quite a bit of live streaming. I just caught them again today. Videos on the channel are frequent, and they feature a lot of reviews, usually for movies. And then they've got shorts on the channel as well. Some of these have started to move now. 1,400, 2,100. A lot of talking head live streams on the channel. So I caught him for some Monopoly Go today. This creator will often do gameplay. A good chance to get to know Michael Harper. He's got a couple of channels. So when I look at Michael W. Harper, we see his second channel. And this creator's been a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter for a couple years now as well. He's working on 90 subscribers on this channel right now and does a lot of DVD reviews over here more than anything else. There's a few more shorts that bring variety into almost 500 views, and then live streams on the channel as well. Like I said, he streams frequently, usually on his main channel, but he's with us just about every day. I hope everybody will connect with Michael W. Harper and Judgment Day Mike Harper. And then next up, we're going to look at Greenland Quilter Katie, who dropped a super chat. So thank you again for that extra generous support. She's done that before. So have Rambling with the Brooms and Leonica. I really do appreciate that. Martin Miller is in the house. Forgive me for not being certain if this might be your first time with Tuber Chat, but hopefully you are feeling welcome. Ship to Shore Cruise News is just asking how many here in the Tuber Chat family are full-time content creators. So I'll leave it to everybody to answer that question. And then I know a lot of people aspire to be full-time content creators. In my opinion, that really comes down to revenue or income, as opposed to things like subscriber numbers or views and, watch time and things like that, if that makes any sense. But I know a lot of people aim towards that. It can take a while, but it can be done for sure. Pardon me, I just need another moment, not quite 3.5 minutes. I'll be right back, and then we'll look at Greenland Quilter Katie. All right, pardon me for that.
If you haven't already given
All right, pardon me for that. We're just about back. We're looking at Greenland Quilter Katie. And again, they just dropped a super chat again, and I always appreciate the positivity. Greenland Quilter Katie is with us just about every day. And actually, they did a special live stream, and I was there for a period of time. I'm unsure how long I was there. I think I was there for like an hour or something like that. And I probably left it running for a long time. Greenland Quilter Katie, let's have a look at that live stream and see how long it went. Okay, 5 hours. 5 hours long. It's funny because sometimes we think that we might be doing like 12-hour live streams, and we forget about things like the internet can cut out and things like that. As a matter of fact, look at this. It looks like a two-part series, so I wonder if the internet cut out or they stopped and restarted. But they did actually make just about 12 hours there, my dear goodness, between those two live streams. So I was there for a while. Look at that grid too, lots of guests on the channel. I wasn't doing any panels during New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I spend a lot of family time, and it's my favorite thing to do, literally. I know it's easy to say that, but when I'm with family, a lot of times I'll just skip out on everything else, and that's what we're doing. But anyway, I hope to do more panels this year. I said that last year and didn't do nearly as many as I planned to. Something's always getting in the way, but I'm expecting to have quite a bit of time over the next few months while the weather is not fantastic here. And then we'll see about that. But Greenland Quilter Katie had a lot of guests on the channel. New Year's celebration, they live stream frequently. They got some shorts on their channel as well. These have gotten into 2,800 views and beyond. Now, Greenland Quilter Katie has got a podcast going on the channel, and this is something I was unsure about for a while. They've done a few different types of videos over the Christmas season, but when they started coming into the Tuber Chat family several months ago, these are the first videos that I watched, giving us a beautiful look around Greenland, icebergs, glaciers, and beautiful mountains on the water there and everything else. So hopefully everybody will connect with Greenland Quilter Katie, and then they've got more information on their About section, and they're here with us just about every single day as well, and I really do appreciate that. I know not everybody can be. Henry Leslie Vermont is in the house. I think they dropped a super chat this morning. And then Chris Goofy might be a brand new channel in the chat. Good to see you here. Thank you for coming in, and hopefully you're feeling welcome also. If I've missed anything in the chat that anybody's meant for me to see, like a question or a comment, just please mention it again with 3 thumbs up or @mention Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. That should help me see it a little bit easier. I'll keep my eyes open and hopefully catch it the next time around. Maritza's Yarn and Crafts is in the house. Hugo Homestead is also here. It's good to see you in the house. I am looking at, not spinning the wheel. Did I not, pardon me, spin the wheel? Yes, I must have gotten myself distracted for a second there, so forgive me for that. I'll get Hugo Homestead onto the wheel in another moment here. Maritz's Yarn and Crafts is in the house. And pardon me while my allergies are just on me here. And let's look at what is going to happen with the next channel. Crystal Dragon, Rita House of Creations. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the positivity as well. When we look at Lewis Acre Farm Karma, we see another creator that's with us just about every day. If you have the ability to share this stream, whether it's on a community tab, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or on any other social network, I'll appreciate it greatly. It helps get a few more people into Tuber Chat right now and could see this stream pushed out a little bit farther both today and in the coming days and maybe even weeks ahead as a replay because of the engagement signals sent into the YouTube algorithm when you share. So now we're looking at Lewis Acre Farm Karma. This is a creator who does a lot of live streaming and somebody who introduces us to a lot of different channels. They do a lot of StreamYard panel style interviews with other creators in a series called Meet Me Monday. And then they've got another live stream coming up in a few days. Talk About It Tuesday. That'll be interesting to see. And Lewis Acre Farm Karma gives us a bit of information on their About section here. Southwest Idaho is where we're getting this channel from. Shorts on the channel, bringing us a lot of homesteading content, feature a lot of outdoors. And these have even gotten into 1,500, 2,500, 6,100 views and beyond. And then videos on the channel as well are posted frequently, usually every week or so. And more homesteading content here from Lewis Acre Farm Karma. So hopefully everybody will connect with them, push them towards the 500 subscribers we know they're thinking about. Oh, and then Lewis Acre Farm Karma. And forgive me for being uncertain if we're already connected. Instagram is where I am all the time. Facebook as well. I will check that several times a day. And then, pardon me, Twitter occasionally, but I'll miss messages on Twitter because I really don't check every day. I just go on there once in a while. So, yeah, Legal Minded Friends Karen Cole, Two Pineapples, who was in the chat for a second. They often, that's Lou and Anna, they are longtime friends of ours. They've been with us from basically the beginning 4.5 years ago. But even 3.5 years ago, they started a 24-hour live stream on their channel, which features content in Hawaii. And they have a true 24-hour live stream going. On our Copyright Music channel, I have done streams that we call 24 hours, but we actually chop them at about 11 hours and 50 minutes, because if you live stream longer than 12 hours, you don't keep the watch hours anywhere after that 12-hour mark, right? So when we think about monetization, lots of creators can do that, either cut the streams every 11 hours or so, or once you're monetized, you can do a 24-hour live stream. You recognize Two Pineapples. We see their channel every single day here because Lou joined me for an interview, the very first in the series, and I play a couple of clips from that, usually one every day while we live stream. But they hit their 10,000 subscribers forever ago. So they bring us a wealth of knowledge and a different perspective from the other creators because of that 24-hour live stream. But Lou and I continue our friendship today. We talk frequently about new technology updates, ideas, and things like that. And there they are in the chat right there. So if you haven't already connected with them, that's a perfect example of a true 24-hour live stream. And they always have conversations conversation going on there. In our interview, we actually talk about moderators and what it takes to keep a stream like that under control, right? 24 hours a day. They're about to hit 20,000 now. So there's an example of the success that they're experiencing on the channel. And they've got a lot of travel-based content as well. Kathy Pena is up on the screen, and this is another creator who talks to us about Aloha Freedom Tours Hawaii. They've got quite a bit of information on their About section. They're going to inspire us in a spiritual way, and I'm just going to grab their illegal fireworks video. We've got fireworks that happen so often around the Toronto area that my understanding is one city has basically banned it altogether because it's been abused so much. Now, I could be wrong about that, and it might be an exaggeration, but fireworks, we never used to be able to have them when I was a kid. Like, even I wanted to have fireworks and use them irresponsibly, but we were not able to have ones that fire and explode. We just had what they call Roman candles, which are ones that just like shoot and disappear. And so it really wasn't as fun as it could be. But fireworks, I forget if it's 20 years ago or 30 years ago now, we could start buying all over the place. They have them outside some of our Home Depots, our hardware stores, and things like that. Usually guys selling them out of trailers and everything. Some of the department stores have them now as well. You can buy them just about any time. But, you know, people are firing off fireworks for all kinds of different things. In Niagara Falls, Ontario, where I live, it's a tourist destination. And I've done a couple of fireworks videos where I like really plan to get a really good view of these. But in the summers, some years they do them every single day. If you can imagine. They did them for New Year's Eve. We heard them, I think it was like 8 p.m. the other day. Shorts on Kathy Payne's channel have now gotten into over 1,200 views on one of these, which is great to see. And then live streams are an idea maybe for the future. We'll keep an eye on the channel. We've always got notification bells on for every single channel. That's in the spirit of doing as much as we can for each other and making sure we catch as much content from each other as well, if possible. And then Dinky Crafts Jennifer is coming up in a moment. For anybody that's brand new today in our chat and here for the first time, hopefully you're feeling welcome. We have a lot of dynamic creators here. Everybody will be willing to connect, so please don't be shy. You can reach out to anybody you'd like to in the chat, and if you take your time, meet people one by one and follow the instructions that you'll find in our video description. You'll find yourself with some new friends and family members for your channel in no time if that's what you would like. I didn't realize I wasn't already subscribed to Dinky Crafts Jennifer. I usually don't do it while we're live streaming, but just out of habit, I just hit the button right there right now and turn the notifications on. But that's okay. Now, I don't watch videos or usually subscribe while I live stream, but I'm going to look for a video a little bit longer than 3 minutes here. I'll take this 12-minute Vlogmas Advent video, and I'm going to put this into my watch later list. What that will allow me to do is after the live stream today, I'll go through my watch later list and I'll watch that video in full. I'll leave a meaningful, genuine comment related to the content of that video. I'll give a thumbs up, and then hopefully all of that will keep our connection solid, and then hopefully they have our notification bell on as well so they don't miss our further live streams. We're usually here at least 3 times a week. We mix up the days and times so that we can meet different creators from around the world in different time zones. I'm actually going to take your fireworks video here and put that in my catch-up list as well. And what that will allow me to do is show YouTube that I cared so much about this creator's content that I went back for seconds already. And then I'll spin the wheel and we'll get to Jesse Miller unboxings and more. If you'd like to swap playlists with anybody in the chat, please just simply say, I am willing to swap playlists. Other creators should reach out to you, and if you see somebody say that and you're willing, please reach out to them. Everybody is free to make those arrangements independently and individually, of course. Jesse Miller Unboxings and More has been another friend of about 4.5 years. This creator now is working on 2,200 subscribers, and she's monetized. Lots of ways to support her, including super chats, super stickers, super thanks when we get there. Jesse Miller Unboxings and More will truly unbox a variety of just about everything that can be unboxed in a collection. Sometimes she gets into subscription boxes. There's a lot of crafting supplies here, bath and beauty products, stationery, jewelry, even snacks. are a part of her video series. She posts frequently, usually weekly as a minimum, and then a lot of the products that she finds in her unboxing videos are featured in shorts on the channel. There's some jewelry right there, bath and beauty products here, snacks, there's the stationery I was talking about, and other things as well. When we get into live streams, we see that she's live usually once every month or two. We'll be expecting a new one in the new year, of course. And Jessie Miller Unboxings and More obviously is a generous, loyal, and dedicated supporter, has been all this time. One of the interesting things that you'll find on the channel is she shows us a lot of what she ends up creating when it comes to the crafting supplies and things like that as well. So we'll be looking forward to new videos in a few days as well. And Jessie Miller Unboxings and More, like I said, we'd love to push her towards the 2,200 we know she's thinking about. So thank you, everybody, for the time that you spent today. I really do appreciate every moment everybody can spend. I hope everybody's new year is off to a great start. We're going to be back on Sunday again. We're going to try for almost every 3 days. Episode 800 is coming up a couple of Sundays from now. And hopefully everybody will connect to all of our moderators here as well. I know not everybody will agree that our live streams here couldn't be what they are if it wasn't for the help of our dedicated moderators. And then we're going to look at one of their channels right now. Hilda DC has been another friend with us since the beginning of Tuber Chat. A few weeks ago, actually, did an interview on I Am Betty J. Gather's channel. And we talked about moderators. I told a very special story that I really like telling about my friendship with Hilda DC. And then I spoke briefly about some of our other moderators as well. And she turned around and ended up doing a live stream the other day and kind of reiterated some of what I had been talking about, the importance of friendships and things like that as well. So Hilda DC is working on 2,600 subscribers. She's known as one of the most encouraging creators that I've met in my YouTube journey. Positive affirmations flow throughout her content, both from the creator herself as well as special effects on the screen. She even gets Nightbot on the case, actually. She's got a premiere coming up in a few days here. She typically brings a lot of cooking videos and taste test challenge type ideas. I enjoy watching a lot of those because I'm from Canada, so I don't get to see all of the same different flavors and things from some of the popular products we find on channels like Hilda DC's here. Shorts on the channel have gotten into 2,900 views, 6,200 views, and one breakout short at 47,000, which is great to see. And then live streams are something she's done many times in the past. These are sporadic now. They come up once in a while, but I've joined her many times both on her channel and others as well for lots of StreamYard panels and things like that. We look forward to more coming up. So hopefully everybody will connect with Hilda DC and everybody else here in the chat. I'll leave the stream running for an extra 3 minutes like we always do. And then, like I said, we're back on Sunday. So Happy New Year and thanks again, everyone. Bye-bye.